What's going down, folks? It's your boy C23 back on the sticks once again with another Madden 16 Ultimate Team video for you guys. And in this one, we're about to dive into a little online head-to-head gameplay. But before we do, I wanted to show you guys the squad. I've kind of worked on it a little bit, but as you can see, there's a lot of room for improvement. So starting out at QB, we got Tony Romo, and then we got LaDainian at running back. My wide receivers are T.Y. Hilton, Odell Beckham, and Alshon Jeffrey. At tight end, we got Martellus Bennett, and then the offensive line is still a bit of a work in progress, but hopefully it can hold up and get us through the start of the season. Now, moving things over to the defensive side of the ball, I got Desmond Trufant and DRC as my top two corners. Down in the trenches, we got Marcel Darius, Damon Harrison, and Muhammad Wilkerson. They've all got pretty solid block sheds, so hopefully we can wreak some havoc down there and stuff the run, and also getting after the QB without me having to blitz, so we'll see how that works out. And oh, my linebackers and my safeties are pretty average, so the back end of my defense could be pretty soft, but we'll see how it plays out. Now, you guys know I like to come out early and fill my opponent out in the first couple of drives, so starting this one, I just hand the ball off to Tomlinson. He goes nowhere, bringing up a 2nd and 11, so I drive back and try to get something going through the air and connect with Beckham in traffic. I don't know how he caught that, but he did, so we end up gaining 10 on the play. Bringing up a 3rd and 1, I try to sneak it in there and hand it off to Tomlinson again. He gets drilled in the backfield, and we get a loss on the play, so we might need to abandon the run game pretty soon here, folks, because it's not working out. So that brings up 4th down, and we're forced to punt because there's no way I'm going for it. Anyway, check out what happens. The ball just bounces off my opponent, and we recover with pretty good field position to go to work. So I'm thinking, okay, we got the ball just about at the 30. Let's come out and try to get the ground game going again. I hand off to Shady for 5 yards. Bringing up a 2nd and 5, I drop back, looking downfield, trying to thread the needle and throw it into coverage and get picked off. That is not the way we wanted to start that drive. So my opponent's next possession, he tries to take off with Vic and fumbles the ball, and we're right there to recover. So that's 2 turnovers that he's made in the last 2 minutes. We must come out and capitalize on this. I set up the screenplay, dish it off to McCoy. He spins and makes a guy miss, but then gets leveled after the play. He only gains about 4 on the play. On 2nd and 6, trying to make something happen, he hits me with a little A gap, and we're forced to take the sack. So on 3rd and 10, I'm like, okay, let me drive back in the shotgun, look downfield and see what's there, and throw a dart to Alshon Jeffrey, who makes a defender miss and dives in the end zone for the score. So how does my opponent respond now? 1st and 10, he comes out under center and tries to get the screen game going, but our defense swarms to the ball, and we're right there to stop that for no gain. Bringing up a 2nd and 10, he's in the shotty, he hands the ball off, and then runs into his own lineman, giving my defense enough time to get there and make the tackle. So we'll take that. Then he tries to pick up the pace a bit, rushing everybody back to the line of scrimmage, having them line up. It's crazy how people just rarely huddle online. I don't know what that's all about. But 3rd and 6, he's having all kind of motion back there. He goes play action, throws it downfield, and is picked off by Desmond Trufant. That's our 3rd takeaway in the first quarter. So now we got to come out and do something with it, right? I'm thinking the whole time we got to make him pay. So I come out, go play action. I see a man streaking downfield. I throw it up, and who else but Odell Beckham Jr. going up and making the grab. Unfortunately, though, the offense kind of stalls, and we're forced to settle for a field goal. But it's all right, though. We still got points on the drive. So on my opponent's next possession on a 3rd and 9 situation, he drops back, he gets the screen game going, and he jukes all my defenders out for a big gainer. Sometimes your opponent just has a better play call than you, and it works. So that's what happened there. On the next play, my opponent decides he wants to go deep and takes a shot, but Desmond Trufant is there in the coverage and says, give me that. No, sir, and gets his 2nd pick of the day. And you guys know, with me being an Atlanta Falcons fan, I love how EA is giving props to my boy Desmond Trufant because a lot of people really don't know about him. He's not really a huge household name yet, but trust me, he's really on the verge of becoming the next NFL lockdown corner. But anyway, shout out once again to EA for giving him an elite. Now on this next play, this is something that I usually never do, especially when I'm pinned back this deep in my own territory, but sometimes you just gotta let your wide receiver go up and make a play for you. And that's exactly what Alshon did on that last play. Now, a couple plays later, I'm thinking, okay, I trust my playmakers. I see T.Y. has a one-on-one deep, so I throw it up so we can make a play. And he comes down with it for the score. Now, my opponent's starting to get the idea. It's all about getting the ball to your playmakers and letting them make plays. So he tries to go deep, but Desmond is right there to break up the pass. You don't test Desmond. I mean, the man already has 2 picks on you. Why do you keep throwing to his side? So what does he do on the very next play? He tries to go at Desmond again, and he's there to break up the pass. So that brings up 3rd and 10. So I just know that he's not going to test Desmond again, right? He's not going to test Desmond again, right? He's not going to test. Yeah, okay. So he finally gets one on Desmond, but We'll live with that though, because for the most part, Desmond's been locking down that entire side of the field. But after the big play, my opponent is finally able to get on the board, scoring his first touchdown of the day. Now he comes out on 2nd and 13 on the next drive and throws it up for grabs and goes up and gets it in the middle of the field. I'm not sure why my guy didn't make a play on the ball, but our defense really needs to step it up. So the next play, he hands the ball off, trying to get the ground game working again, and we stop him after a gain of 5. Then he goes back into the hurry up mode, rushing everybody back, and this is where I really start to feel like the momentum is starting to change sides. For the first 2 quarters of the game, I had all the momentum, everything was working in my favor, and then he gets a couple of big completions to bring up this 3rd down where he just dumps it to his wide receiver, and he just walks in untouched for an easy score. So we've completely lost all momentum in this game, moving things ahead a bit to the 4th quarter. We're tied at 17. He drops back and decides to go deep. Cromartie's in perfect position to make a play, but what does he do? Not only does he not make a play on the ball, he lets the receiver catch it and doesn't make the tackle. I don't believe that. So now we're down 7. We need a big play. Holiday takes the kickoff, decides to attack the sidelines, makes a couple of guys miss with some nifty juke moves. Nobody's going to catch him. He's going all the way. No, he's not. But the big play on the return puts us in perfect field position. A couple plays later on 3rd and 10, I drive back looking downfield and throw a dart to Hilton, who's wide open. He got some pretty nice yardage after the catch too. So that puts us in perfect position. It's 1st and 10 inside the red zone. I take the snap looking downfield, trying to make a play. There's nobody open, so I just decided to run and get rid of it. I probably could have picked up another 10 yards had I run with it, but the throwaway animation already started, so I had to get rid of it. Bringing up a 2nd and 10. I'm still thinking we need to score here. Once again, nobody's open, so I just dump it off to McCoy in the flat and really don't get anything on the play. So on 3rd and 10, I try to dial up the screenplay, but I don't give my blockers a chance to set up, and I'm tackled 5 yards shy of the goal line. So now I'm faced with a decision. It's 2:25 to go in the 4th quarter. I'm down 7. And all I can think about is go for it. We got to stay aggressive. We've been aggressive the whole game, and this is what got us here. So why switch up the game plan now? So I take the snap on 4th down and fire it over to Bennett, who makes the catch and walks in untouched for the score. Now I'm thinking, okay, there's not that much time left. If we can just get a stop, we can come back and win this thing in overtime. And then I give up this play. I really don't know what to call this, you guys. We just got burned. I mean, we just got gashed, and it sets him up in perfect field position. On 1st and 10, he tries to come out with the run game, but my defense is there to pretty much shut that down, bringing up a 2nd and 7 situation. With under a minute to play, he goes back to the ground game and picks up 4 on the play. Now we're looking at 3rd and 3, comes out in the shotgun and completes a pass way behind the 1st down marker. So we're able to come up and make the tackle, and I call a quick timeout. So the defense did their job by holding them to 3, even though they gave up a couple of big plays there late in the 4th. So now all we need to do is get the ball in the hands of one of our playmakers and let him go make a play. So on the kickoff return, Holiday takes the kick and then sprints to the sideline. He gets a block and another block. He's got one man to beat and blows right by him. He's going to the 20, the 10. He's taking it all the way to the house for a walk-off kickoff return for a touchdown. It gets no better than that, folks. We end up taking this one 31-27 in dramatic fashion with the kickoff return for a touchdown at the end. Good game to my opponent for sticking with me the entire way. He could have quit so many different times, but he stayed with it. And that's a wrap on another one, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you leave a like for me if you did. Go on ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're new. That's my time, folks. I'm signing off, and I'll see you in the next one.